the next two stories have to do with things Obama doesn't want you to know about. We should make that a segment. The Obama admin doesn't want anyone seeing the Guantanamo force-feeding videos. I wrote this last week. On Thursday, the Obama administration announced its intention to appeal a federal judge's order to release videotapes from the Guantanamo Bay detention camp. The videos show a former detainee being forcibly removed from his cell and force-fed. In October 2014, U.S. District Judge Gladys Kessler ruled that the Obama administration had to unseal videotapes related to the force-feeding of Abu Diab. He was being held without charge at the military prison in Guantanamo Bay. He was kidnapped by the Pakistani government in 2002 before he was handed over to the U.S. on suspicion of terrorism. And after 12 years, behind bars without a trial, he was released, but not to his home country because, once you're labeled a terrorist, you can't go home. The violence and force-feeding procedures have caused permanent damage to his health, and he's now confined to a wheelchair. Now, why would he have permanent damage, and why is he confined to a wheelchair? Well, the videos that they're trying to get released, they show him being subjected to what is known as forced cell extraction and a force-feeding process. The force-feeding sessions came as a result of him refusing to eat as part of a hunger strike that spread across Guantanamo Bay. At one point, there was 100 detainees that were participating in it before the government decided they weren't going to release any more numbers. Now we have no idea if anybody's still hunger striking or what the numbers are. And, they've been slowly trying to release people to other places to shut it down, possibly, but there still are people there. And when you refuse to eat, the way they force feed you is either through your nose, but also they do something known as rectal feeding, which apparently caused some permanent damage to his ass, and God, it's horrible to think about. After several appeals and delays, Judge Kessler gave the Obama administration until January 22, 2016 to release 11 hours of footage. However, on Thursday, lawyers with the U.S. Department of Justice said they will appeal the judge's order. And the Obama administration is going to keep trying to fight this every step of the way. They don't want us to know what they are doing to other human beings and what the U.S. taxpayer is supporting. And if you are supporting it through taxation, I would say don't feel guilty. Maybe feel guilty for a moment and take that guilt and turn it into energy and find a way to remove yourself from the system if it doesn't fit your values and your morals, and stop supporting them. Another thing the Obama administration doesn't want you to know about is Operation Fast and Furious, the notorious failed gun running scheme. On Tuesday, a federal judge ruled President Obama cannot use executive privilege to deny Congress access to records related to Operation Fast and Furious. U.S. District Court Judge Amy Berman Jackson ruled that the Department of Justice's prior release of information related to Fast and Furious invalidated President Obama's claim that releasing details of the program would cause harm. The department itself has already publicly revealed the sum and substance of the very material it is now seeking to withhold. Since any harm that would flow from the disclosures sought here would be merely incremental, the records must be produced, the judge wrote. So she's trying to get them to release this 2012 report from the Justice Department's Office of Inspector General regarding Fast and Furious. And if you guys remember, in 2012, the House of Representatives voted to hold then Attorney General Eric Holder in contempt of Congress for refusing to hand over documents and lying multiple times while under oath, that he didn't know about the program or he had just found out about it. And on June 20th, 2012, Obama exercised his executive privilege to keep the documents secret. And they have been fighting since that time to keep them secret and private from the view of the public. Now the judge is saying they can't use that executive privilege, so we'll see what the next phase is and if any more truth comes to light.